Hey guys, welcome to our live Q&A session this week. How are you doing? I've now realised I've left my coffee outside, so bear with me 2 secs. Not gonna fly without the coffee. So how are you? If you are online, give me a wave, give me a comment, say you're there, so I know I'm not some crazy lady as usual talking to myself, which is also quite possible. For those of you that haven't joined one of these before, generally I talk for a little bit. I'll try and keep it brief. But really what I want from these sessions is interaction. I want questions. I'm not going to talk for very long. I need questions or comments or interaction from you guys to make it work. So let's see how we get on. So yeah, if you're online, give me a little hi or a wave. Hi Susan, hello love, thank you for giving me a little wave. So today we're talking all about growing your VA business. Now I know I do a lot, or I've done a lot recently around the steps to get started with your VA business, which is important if you're at the beginning of the journey, or if you're sitting at a point of transition going, what am I doing? But really what I want to focus on today is about growth. So if you're a new VA or somebody that's just starting, this is still applicable, because you guys at some point you're going to want to grow it, whether that happens quickly or 2 years down the line, then you're going to want to grow it. So it's still absolutely applicable, but it might resonate more with some of you that are at that point, you know, that point in your business where you're thinking, what next? What does the future hold for me? How do I make this more than it is? And more can mean lots of things to different people. So hi Rachel, hi Michelle, hi Lisa, how are you? Hope you guys are okay today. So growth. When I talk about growth for your VA business, what does growth mean for you? Because growth could be a number of different things. Growth could be number of clients. Growth could be income. Growth could be exposure. It could be growing in terms of changing your direction or changing the types of services that you're offering, moving on. Growth can mean different things to different people. So I'd be really interested to know where you guys are at in terms of your growth. Oh, Rachel, you're so at that point right now, I know. And for some people it will come very quickly, and for some people it will take time. Some people grow before they're ready, and sometimes growth can be a little bit out of our control. But if you're sitting there right now thinking, I'm at that point, I can't really describe it any more than you'll know what it is, but that point where you're thinking, I need to change something and I need to move forward in a certain way, then this might be helpful for you guys. So let me know where you're at in terms of growth, and we can go from there. So if I talk a little bit about my own business growth and how that's come about. Hey Leah, hey, hi Amy, hello. I started my VA business because I had my little boy, and I wanted flexibility from escaping my PA career, escaping the commute, and just really to get back some time. I didn't really know what it would look like, but to get back some time, or to get some more control around how I worked and when I worked. And my business did quite well. So I ended up growing my business within, I think, it must have been September, to about 6 or 7 months with associates. So my growth of choice at the time, and actually all I'd really been trained to do by my wonderful VA coach, Carmen McDougall, was to work with associates. So she talked me through a lot of strategies around how to use other VAs as associate VAs, and to almost grow a team of other VAs. And I was thinking of it like a little army of VAs. And that worked really, really well for me. So within those 6 months, I was ready to start that. And then within another year, I was pregnant again. And I was at the point where I wanted to then change my direction. So I'd grown it with these associates. I had clients outsourced to them. I was then I had 1 or 2 clients that I was sticking with, but the way that I did it was then I had my other clients outsourced completely to those other clients. So, I mean, you can do it whichever way works for you. Some people prefer to sort of retain clients and then outsource pieces of work. Some people prefer to just hand a client over and have that relationship managed by their associate. And certainly because I believe that it's quite useful to do that, and also it felt to me like I was then stepping away from the day-to-day managing of some of those clients. It felt like the right thing to do. So I did that for a while, and that really, really worked. But having gone off on maternity leave and decided during that time to retrain as a business coach and to sort of move into more online business strategy rather than traditional VA work or PA work, VA work, which is where I came from and why I did. What I did was I left those clients with my associates. I didn't ever take them back. So I then started to build clients in a new direction. So not only had I kind of done the growth from a number of people in my business, but then I was doing the growth in terms of I was growing. I was changing the way that I was working with my clients. I was changing the offering that I had to my clients. And again, that's like growth or change is really, really important to me as a person. I need that constant, I suppose it's like diversity in terms of what I'm doing. So I moved into that role. And of course, not content with then doing that role, I decided then to stretch and grow myself even further and to start VIP VA. So then over the last 3 years, I've been doing stuff to do with that. And of course now have my own VAs, and I'm growing things in a completely different way using things like passive income and digital products. And the last 3 years has been a steep learning curve in terms of using those to really leverage my business and to make sure that it looks how I want it to look. So that's kind of a whistle-stop tour of my own business growth. So what about you guys? Let's dip in and see who's on. Karen, hello. The first chance I've had to listen into one of these, just taking 5. Hello. Zita's here. Hello. Louise, how do you start outsourcing to associates to a client? How do you mean? How do you explain it? Well, you just kind of tell it like it is. Honesty is always the best policy. I think most clients will understand now about the setup of a VA. They'll understand that you are a sole trader or a limited company with one person in it that is working flexibly around other commitments or not, just because they want to. We don't always have to have an excuse. And having an associate at least in your business is good practice from if you fell under a bus, or if you fell ill, or God forbid you should ever want to take holiday point of view, it's really sensible to have an associate lined up in your business that knows at least something about your clients so they can step in if needs be. That's your backup plan, really important. But in terms of having a team, the way that I sort of transitioned it was, rather than going, hi, potential client, this is me and this is what I can offer you, and this is what you'll get when you work with me. I just changed my terminology to go, hi, potential client, my business does X, and if you choose to work with us, then it looks like this, and it'll be whether I wanted to take that client on or not. I could decide at a later date, but it could be it's working with me or one of my team or me and my team, or just changing that terminology. And I think there's the argument that some clients will want to just work with you, and that may be true, and you might want to work with that client or not, one-to-one. But equally, clients are often comforted by the fact that a business is more than just one person. So I always think that having that sort of I have a team-ness about you is a positive, not a negative. If you're in that situation where you're looking to pass a client that you've already got off to an associate, I know that sometimes crops up, then I think you have to be prepared that your client might not like that. Some will be fine about it, surprisingly fine, and you wonder why you ever were so fond of them. But I think some might not be okay about it. And I think in that situation, you have to explain that the reasons why you're passing work over to an associate, and usually, you know, make it about them and about the service they're going to get. But equally, what they have to understand is that your associates are an extension of you and your brand. So you are going to have done your due diligence and prep work in terms of who you're taking on as associates. You know that they can do the job. You know that they have good work ethics. So your client needs to trust you that that is going to be a good fit for them. Or they don't, and they leave and they go and find someone else. Simple as that, I think. Hi, Helena. Hello, Joanna. Hope that helps, Louise. If there's points you need clarifying, then pop them in the comments and I'll come back to you. So Rachel, your comment's gone a bit long. She says, I'm struggling with the backup plan. I support IFAs who are linked to a wealth management franchise, and although I'm a freelancer, I'm set up to work in their internal systems. I don't know how to make this work with an associate. No, interesting. And I guess with like GDPR stuff around sharing of passwords and things, it's not really like it's going to be that easy for you to share log-on information. How would you feel about talking to your client about having this backup plan and seeing if they can come up with a solution, or I could provide potentially a log-on? Do you have in your contracts, do you have sort of terminology around the fact that if you're not able to do the work, you'll provide an associate, or do you not? All of these things will need to be considered before you sort of go to them and say, look, this is to be able to provide you with seamless support. This is in your interest. So I think it's probably worth a discussion. If you're looking for contracts that do have that sort, I mean, guys, Annabelle's contracts are really the best for VAs because they're tailored for VAs. I'll put a link in a minute for Annabelle's contracts. But that includes all of that stuff in your contract about what happens when you can't perform the work, late payment stuff, all of that stuff that you need is in there, and they are so reasonable to buy. If you're on the Nurture program, you of course get a copy of those. You get a basic terms of business included, so it's worth having it. But Rachel, if I was you, I would touch base with them and just kind of say that you want to be able to ensure that they have seamless support. And although you don't foresee being off sick, none of us foresee being off sick. I didn't foresee my son breaking his leg back in January and me basically being out of the office for 8 weeks. But having a backup there is really to protect, yes, of course, you, but to protect your clients as well. So it's in their interest as well to try and work with you to see how that access issue is solved, really. Yeah, sorry, I've just seen your comment. You're guessing you could use other OFA VAs? Maybe, yeah, absolutely. If there's a regulation piece that needs to be ticked or an experience thing, then absolutely you could go and look for an associate VA that is also in that arena. Speak with Maggie Johnson. She's insurance protection. She might know some people or someone or herself, so just worth doing. Sorry, Maggie, for name checking you here. Okay, so Karen says, I have so much work, I need 48-hour days, that I'm unsure whether to bring in an assistant or two to help me via my own company, or whether I want to potentially outsource to an associate. Not done the latter previously, and I'm unsure if that's the route I want to go. What can be the pitfalls of using an associate? So just to your point about potentially needing a VA for yourself, people do that. Just because you're a VA doesn't mean that you don't need a VA. You are a business owner. Practice what you preach, outsource the stuff that's draining you and taking you away from focusing on what you should be doing. But whether you do that or whether you actually just outsource some of your clients to an associate is going to be down to personal choice and your clients and how you want this business to look. Because once you start scaling it with associates, it can look a certain way. And don't forget that if you have a team of associates, it's not passive. You are going to need to do a certain level of management of those associates and those clients still. So that's worth bearing in mind as well. In terms of the pitfalls of using an associate, so I think, look, I've had some great associates and I've had some terrible associates. And the best ones have been when I've taken my time to make sure that not only can the person I'm taking on do the job, but that they have the same approach to work that I do, the same work ethic, that they are personality wise, we get on. We don't have to be the same, but that we get on because they are an extension of you and your brand and your team. So the pitfalls of using an associate is taking on the wrong one, basically. and maybe taking on somebody that doesn't have the skill set and lets you down. I had that. I had somebody that let me down to my client's face and told them that they had no idea about whatever the system was that they were using. Oh, face palm. I had a very unhappy client. And I think the other thing is just that sort of, I guess, loss of control. But I think that's both a positive and a negative, because you do lose control. And as you start building your business and your team, you are relying on other individuals to perform duties for you. And that can be really scary. But it can also be so liberating when it works and you've done it in the right way. So I think my message really there is just take your time to get the right person on board. Somebody that can do the job, but also somebody that's going to fit. Somebody that fits with your team. Don't just go with same as a business looking to use a VA. They're not just going to go, oh, so-and-so use that VA, they're the perfect VA for me. It might not be the perfect VA for you. You need to take your time to, basically go on business dates with this person and make sure they're actually going to fit in with what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve. Hopefully that's helpful. So Rachel's, you said about that. And Jill says, hello, I'm new to VAing, have a couple of clients, so what's the best way to get clients? There was a Facebook Live the other week about that, Jill. I think the last one I did was around how to get clients. I'll post a link. I will remind myself to do that in here, how to get clients. But really, very briefly, so I'll go into more depth there, but very briefly, it's all about building a presence and visibility and rapport with people online. You've got offline stuff, you've got online stuff. Many VAs network with their clients online, some do it offline, but really the key to getting somebody to want to work with you is for them to like you and to trust you. And the only way to do that is to build a relationship with them. So whether that's through going to regular meetings, networking meetings with them or with people that they know, or whether that's building a regular, trusted online presence, so through blogging or social media posts or Facebook Lives or whatever it is, you need to be engaging with these people and you need to be talking about what their pain points are, what's causing them trouble, and how you understand them and how you can solve that problem for them. Like I say, this previous Facebook Live we did the other week was precisely about this, or about how to get clients, what the best way to get that is. So I will post a link to that in the hub, and then you can have a look at that one. Hello Vicky, hello you again. We've got to stop meeting like this. Vicky and I think have spoken about 4 times this week. Hi Claire and Karen. Right, so we've touched briefly about associates. So there will be those of you sitting there now going, associates, interesting. How can I sort of build my business? How could I scale it with, 10, 20, 30, 40, a team, a whole army of associates? And it works, but it's got to be right for you. If you're the person that sat there going, I have no interest in building my business with associates, I hear you. And don't be afraid, because building your business with associates or employees, which I'm not going to touch on today, is not the only way to build your business. One of the best ways to build your business as a VA, aside from using associates, is through kind of a passive income stream. So I did a presentation, I was meant to do a presentation on this at office, but it was my granddad's funeral. But passive income really is a way to generate revenue without you having to trade your time for money. So for example, as VAs, we might charge £40 an hour, and that is on the hour. We get paid for the hour that we work, although Jim Rohn would say you get paid for the value you bring to the hour, not for the hour. When it comes to passive income, I'm talking about things like building online courses or ebooks or digital products that you create, and there's work involved. No income generating product is ever totally passive, in my opinion. But it's about creating something that then once you've created it once, you can start selling it, and it generates you income over and over and over and over again. So that could be a digital product, that could be an ebook, that could be an online course, that could be a membership site. All of these things are ways that you can start to generate income and grow your revenue of your VA business without having to be the person that's in the driving seat all the time or trading your time for money. Now, of course, my washing machine's going mad. Give me a sec. Ah, the joys of doing a Facebook Live from home on a wash day. Will the washing machine go off or won't it? So, building a passive income stream is a really sensible way of future-proofing your business as well, because you might be the kind of person that's sat there going, well, client work dries up and I don't want to be outsourcing to associates, but actually I want to be making sure that I've got a way that I can earn money. Or, you know, you take the last 8 weeks, for example, where, well, it's not the last 8 weeks, but the first 8 weeks of 2018 when my 5-year-old broke his leg and I couldn't work. Well, my revenue didn't suffer as much as it should have done, because all of my passive income, so my membership that I have, my digital products, all of the things that I sell that are not time for money trades, were still generating income, were still selling, were still bringing me that revenue. So it can be a great way to build your business, and you can still then be trading your time for money in your VA business and working one-to-one with your clients in that way, but it's just giving you that extra revenue and growing your bottom line in that regard. So I think passive income products is something that really is on the way. And look, let's face it, we live in a digital age. People want to work that way. So embracing that and thinking about what you could possibly create is probably a really sensible step for you. Annabelle Kay did a talk about this at Elevate in October, which was good for me because it came just ahead of my passive income generator program training. But she was talking about how creating multiple revenue streams in your business is really the way that you can start to build and scale things. So if you're thinking associates isn't for me, but I still need to grow my revenue and there's just one of me, thinking about what you can create from a passive income digital product membership site's point of view is really, really sensible. Karen, sorry, I've just seen your benefits of working from home. The washing gets done. The washing gets done. And I don't know about you, 5-year-old, 3-year-old, my washing basket is never empty. Even today when my washing has just been done, I've done all of it, that's the last wash load, there will be something in that washing basket. I don't know what, but something. So that's kind of passive income. How are you guys feeling about that? Questions about generating recurring income, generating, creating digital products, how that works, what you could offer? Hit me with them whilst I have a sip of my tea. I just want to touch quickly on something else before I open up for questions, further questions. So the other thing that I had in mind about growing your business is in this space of going, I want to make it bigger than just me, but I don't want associates, and of course all of these things can be stacked up on one another. You could have an associate model business with passive income, and then what I want to talk about is affiliates. So you could have then joint venture affiliate agreements. So for example, I'm not afraid to say that the lovely Annabelle Kay and I have an affiliate agreement. So she and I support each other because I know that her contracts are absolutely awesome. And she knows that my VA training and my membership are, of course, the best in the industry. La la. I hate blowing my own trumpet. But we support each other because she promotes what I do because she believes in it. And I promote what she does because I know they're good. So both of us do that because we have similar audiences, both working, serving VAs. And each of us takes a commission from those sales because in the end, I'm promoting to my community, she's promoting to her community, and we may generate income from that. So starting to think about who you can build strategic partnerships with, joint ventures, affiliate partnerships, all the same thing, who you can build those connections with that serve the same industry as you, but just in a different way, is really, really important. Because it may start that you promote their stuff because you know it's good. You use a social media scheduling tool like Content Cal, and you think they're amazing and I want to start promoting their stuff, and so you do. And then the people that you're promoting it to sign up. You might start by getting a £10 commission and it's small potatoes, but actually as time goes by, those commissions can help boost your bottom line as well. So you can start to earn income from those, which all means that you need to in theory, work less one-to-one, and you're still generating that income. So affiliate commissions, or thinking about who you can build strategic alliances with, is also a really important part of growing your business. Michelle says, been really can't even read today. Been really giving some thought to passive income, but I'm struggling with new ideas to offer. Okay, well, so who do you serve, Michelle, and what do you do well? That's the place to start from. Of course, my program goes through all of this step by step, and then how to create the product, and then how to sell it. But from a starting point, who are you trying to serve, and what are you really good at? And see where those... Who are you trying to serve? What do they need? And what are you really good at? And see where those 3 points cross, and in the middle there'll be something. And it doesn't matter if it's something that somebody else has done before. Remember, there's more than enough room in this industry for multiples of everything. So you can throw the Michelle way into it, and it will be different to other things. So you shouldn't worry if it's been done before. Don't copy somebody else's, but you shouldn't worry if it's been done before. Susan says, I like the idea of passive income. It's just finding that idea niche, and my brain does that from thinking about it. Again, like I say, we go through all of this in my program, because it is difficult. It goes right back to those first stages, right, of starting your VA business, of going, who is my niche? What is it that I'm good at? And what are they looking for? Where you find that sweet spot is going to be different for each of you, and how you want to deliver content. So do you want to do it through an online course, or is it that you really like writing, so you want to write an ebook or a book? What does that all look like? Because that will really be personal to you. But I promise you that you can build digital products that will sell. You just need to make sure that you're getting the bit right in the start. Hello, Kelly. Thought you would join us. I haven't before. Good to see you here, my dear. We're just talking about business growth. We've kind of gone through associates. We've talked about sort of passive income, digital products and affiliate stuff. And now we were just kind of having a few questions and stuff around types of passive income. So if you guys have questions on this, hit me with them. Anything about business growth. Now, obviously, not to flip past that, but... there's other ways that you can grow a VA business. So you could think about franchising. I know some people have franchise, but I think for me, franchises and agencies feel like a depersonalization of what is a really personal relationship. So everybody's going to have a different view on this. Everybody's going to work differently, or have a different way that they want to run their business, and that's absolutely fine. But for me, I never wanted to franchise or become an agency, because I believe that VA client relationship and the way that you market personally to each other is to your clients is really important, and it's an individual thing. So I don't know much about franchising and agencies, or I don't really talk much about them, because it's not something I really recommend. But obviously those things are open to you if you're thinking, how do I grow this business beyond just me? And the final point, I think, when thinking about growing your VA business is kind of my point about going on mat leave at the beginning of, or just before I started VIP VA, and how actually during that time I was reflecting on everything that I'd learned today, what I was enjoying, what I wasn't enjoying, what my clients were asking me to do, and having a refocus in terms of what I was actually offering to people, and sitting down and really working out what the different services I was going to offer were, how it was going to change, and growing in terms of growing through change. So it might be that if you're seeking that growth, it doesn't have to be any of these things, but it might be that you're sitting there and you just need the opportunity to rethink or reframe what your business looks like, because you've changed. And let's face it, over time, none of us stand still. There's always something that's changing, and with every client we take on or training we do, we are constantly evolving. So it makes sense that our business is going to evolve over time as well. So rolling with that change and growing with that change is also a really important part of it, and recognizing that if you are changing things, it's not a failure. You're not changing because it's not working necessarily. You're changing because things are evolving. So it could be that you're thinking, actually, I just need to grow or evolve what I'm doing in my business to suit where you are now. Hey Gail, I'm a new member just starting your VA business doing credit control and invoicing. Finding a way to market it right now. Your page is great and lots. Oh, thanks. No, not at all. Well, look, hey, that's what it's there for. The hub is there as a free support tool. So you've got 1,500 VAs in there that you can ask the experience of. And of course, you know where I am. So if you want to pop me a message or book a discovery call or whatever it is, then you know where I am. I'm glad that it's helpful. Guys, how are we feeling about growth? Who's sitting there going, oh my God, I just need to grow right now? Who's sitting there feeling absolutely content and like they've got this licked? Who's sitting there and thinking, I hadn't ever considered any of this? It's possible that all of those things are true, but tell me how you're feeling. Tell me how you're feeling about growth. I think the thing is, there will also be those of you sat there thinking, I don't want to change anything and I don't want to grow at all. I'm happy doing what I'm doing and that's enough for me, and that's absolutely fine as well. Each of us is writing our own business story that serves us in our own way, depending on our own individual situation. So none of you are going to be the same, and your approach to it is not going to be the same either. Well, look, guys, I'll close this off for now. Hopefully some of my ideas and musings about about growth, God, my brain is all over the place. I tell you, it's Washing Wednesdays, have been helpful. And if you've got questions, then please let me know. What I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to stick you some links to sort of passive income and other bits and bobs. I'll stick that link in as well about how to get clients. And if you've got questions, then this remains open. So please do pop your comments below and tag me in and we can go from there. Otherwise, have a really good week. See you later, guys. Bye.